Wow. 55 million euros for Lacroix. You are absolutely having a laugh. That is sensational fee. If that is what gets touted to be at the end of the day. Breaking, ladies and gentlemen. Before breaking, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the other side of the corner. Welcome to your latest Chelsea transfer news. Breaking, Lacroix is expected to join Chelsea for around 55 million euros, which is approximately 47.4 million pounds, coming from L'Equipe. L'Equipe, when it comes to French players, they're a top publication, obviously. Do they get things wrong? Of course they do, but there are times where they get things absolutely correct, especially when it's French player related. We get to see Lacroix. Hopefully, we get to see Lacroix against Norway. I expect France to rotate a little bit because they are top of the table, and it is for the clash to be top of the table. I fully understand that, but I'm hoping that Lacroix gets an opportunity to play against Norway. I'm pretty sure Norway will probably rest a few players as well, and we get to see. But look, do we really need to see him play against France? We've all seen him. We've all seen him play for Crystal Palace. And we've all sort of come to a conclusion that, yeah, he's a good defender. Most of the fan base have come to a conclusion. I've been talking about Lacroix for good, probably 7-8 months now. As soon as that conversation started, who to get, was it going to be Marc Guéhi, this, that, the other from Crystal Palace? I said, why Marc Guéhi? Don't even worry about Marc Guéhi. Look at Lacroix from Crystal Palace. And here we are, 7-8 months down the track now in the summer window. We are heavily linked with Lacroix, and hopefully we get this done. It looks like we are on the verge of getting this player at Chelsea Football Club. Now, before we go into the next news, obviously this is such an exciting news. And for me, he's one of the really, really good Premier League defenders out there. After your top-notch ones, your Salibas, your Magalhaes, your Virgil van Dijks, I think Lacroix is right up there after those ones, and he's entering prime age where defenders only should get better and better and better. He's only 26, so he's entering that prime age. Now, before we go into the next news, I see a lot of people comment that, so now we are all of a sudden Blue Co in. Now, all of a sudden we're happy with everything. Are we like, we as human beings, are we like some sort of like crazy people or something? Like, some people are commenting, one day you're this, one day you're that, sometimes you're on the fence, pick a side. Why do we have to pick a side? Like, is this some sort of a gangland warfare that we have to pick a side? The ownership, I still maintain they've got a lot to prove. And right now, as we speak, yeah, we are Blue Co out, 100% Blue Co out. But could that position not change down the track? Of course it can. Do the right thing, show prolonged period of success, then why shouldn't we change our stance? Like, I hate when fans, they want, it's like either you're a heel or a face. You got to pick a side. WWE style. No, let's be rational about it. So far, the way the ownership has operated, it's been foul. So far, in this summer window, yes, it's looking promising. Xabi Alonso in the building. That's probably the best manager you can get right now for Chelsea Football Club. Fantastic. Big tick mark. But does that mean we forget the past 4 seasons under this ownership? No, we don't. Marco Palestra, Italian Defender of the Year last season, was going to Inter Milan, Italian champions, took him away, brought him to Chelsea Football Club. We got the Here We Go medical supposedly happening right now today. Big tick mark, right wing back. exactly what Xabi Alonso wanted. Then I was determined to get this player, and luckily enough, we've been linked, and it looks like we're on the verge of getting Lacroix. Top defender in the Premier League proven. Another big tick mark. Continue on with this tick mark, but it doesn't end there. Then next, as soon as the season starts, how do you operate with your manager? How do you conduct yourself? Do you get yourself involved all the time like you used to with previous managers? Or do you allow Xabi Alonso to have his way? Let him run free. Let him have full control. All that matters. What do you do in the January window? Do you keep getting better and better and better every single window? Stop buying nonsense players. We've got enough. So, yes, we're happy. I'm very happy. I'm elated, especially with this purchase, more than the Palestra one. Palestra, for me, great, no problems. Xabi Alonso wants him, so fantastic. And some people even have problems with that. Commenting means, how do you know Xabi Alonso wants him? This is so straight up the ownership's alley. Of course it's up ownership's alley. Of course the Marco Palestra deal, young, low wages. Of course, it's bread and butter for the ownership. But you have to have a look, what type of young player are we getting here? As I said, Italian Defender of the Season award last season. This is not just any other young kid that the ownership has bought previously. You can understand why Xabi Alonso likes him. You can, as much as you can sit there and go, how do you know Xabi Alonso likes him? Well, he looks like a good player. He's a player that has broke through with great impact. It's not too far-fetched to believe that Xabi Alonso could like that player, especially for the wing-back position. So, fantastic. Now, Lacroix, a bit more experience in the Premier League, great. But carry this on and allow the manager to run his way. That's all I say, ladies and gentlemen. Fantastic. So far, so good, but it's not over. It's not over just yet. Now, next up I want to talk about is this, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully the Lacroix deal gets done and dusted very, very soon. And we hear a very, very, nice news, a great news about that transfer soon. And straight after that, I'm sure the focus will be on getting some attacking players in. We got to get rid of few at Chelsea Football Club, and then let's bring in some quality. Now, one name that's been talked about, not really linked with Chelsea Football Club, but I see a lot of fans getting excited about him, is Nico Paz. Nico Paz to be decided in 48 hours as Como remain in talks with Real Madrid. Buyback option activated, but Nico will not stay and Como have time until Monday to strike a deal. Nico open to staying, no bid talks from other clubs so far. Now, I feel like he might want to go back to Como because Como are in the Champions League. He had a fantastic season at Como under Cesc Fabregas, so maybe there's a story that could happen over there. Real Madrid, it looks like they're not keeping Nico Paz. And apparently there's a release clause for about 70 million euros, something like that. And a lot of Chelsea fans are getting excited about this because he can play in those half spaces as a twin 10 under the Xabi Alonso setup. If you're playing with the wing backs, then you're most likely playing with inside forwards. And Nico Paz could come good in those positions. My thing is, look, I've seen some footages. I'm not going to claim that I've watched a lot of Nico Paz. I haven't. I haven't watched Como often enough. I don't watch Serie A often enough. But a lot of people do, and they rate him. And I'm pretty sure he's a very good player. And I've seen his footages. He looks like a really, really good player. My only thing is, when you've got a player like Morgan Gibbs-White at Nottingham Forest, and I know a lot of people are saying that, there's no way Nottingham Forest is going to lose Elliot Anderson, which they have, to Manchester City, and they're going to lose Morgan Gibbs-White. Well, why not? I get it. They've got a Donny offer owner. They've got an owner that is part of the mafia, right? Supposedly. And they don't want to lose, all their superstars at once. But it is Nottingham Forest. It's not like a European giant at the moment. Morgan Gibbs-White is an England international. I'm sure he's going to have ambitions to play for a big club. He's got 2 years left in his contract. This is probably the best time to strike a deal. I'd rather go for someone that is tried and tested in the Premier League and has done well, has actually eaten up the Premier League. Nico Paz, he looks like a really nice, nifty player, man. He looks like a very nice player. It kind of reminds, from the footages that I saw, it kind of reminds me of Odegaard. The way he moves, early days Odegaard, not the version we are seeing now under Arteta, which is far more sort of chained up. Early days Odegaard used to, it reminds me, Nico Paz kind of moves like that. So, look, I've got no qualms about Chelsea fans wanting to go after Nico Paz. And maybe we might be in the race because we are linked. We've sent Cucurella there. Looks like Enzo Fernandez might be going there. And, maybe all of this is because we might get a player or two from Real Madrid. Who knows? People probably want Nico Paz to be one of them. But for me, you're a player in the Premier League, in the likes of Morgan Gibbs-White. Let's go for that. You get yourself Palestra, you get yourself Lacroix, and then you add Morgan Gibbs-White. Now that would be a sensational window. Nothing's linked, but hopefully we can manifest something. Hopefully we can manifest something. And I'm sure a player like Morgan Gibbs-White is not going to just sit at Nottingham Forest and not be competing for anything serious. But I'm just putting it out there. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts. The biggest news today so far, it was the Lacroix one from L'Equipe. 55 million euros. Sensational price, man. Less than 50 million pounds. Wow. For a top Premier League defender. Now, that is exactly what I say is great business. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Smash up the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe. Hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Subscribe to my second channel. Lots popping off over there. Till next time, take care. See ya.